And hello, everybody. Hello. It is 4 p.m., 4:30 p.m. Pacific time in sunny Santa Monica, and we're here at the This Week In studios. And we decided, what the heck, we should do a This Week In iPad show. With me, Mark Jeffrey, the CEO of This Week In. There you go.
Everyone, how you doing?
That's him. And also Jacob Burch, who is the Director of Technology here at Mahalo. Say hello,
Howdy.
Jacob. Very nice. Wearing a suit jacket. I like it. So the idea behind this show is going to be very easy. Much like the This Week in Venture Capital show that we started last week, this is going to be a short and to-the-point show. We are going to be respectful of your time, unlike on the Kevin Pollak Chat Show or my own show, This Week in Startups, where we go 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
We're going to try to get shows on the This Week in Network down to half an hour, 45 minutes max. The purpose of the show is to have three nerds talk about the iPad. We'll probably have a fourth nerd. We have Aram coming in for the next one. We'll rotate 2 or 3, probably 3 nerds per show. And we've done some pretty cool things. Like, if I take my iPad here and I hold it right here, what you'll see is we actually can show the iPad. So people in the chat room right now should all be applauding and saying, wow, that actually looks pretty good, Jason. I can see your iPad. Thank you for putting together such a great show. Mark Jeffrey, you can show your iPad.
Absolutely.
And there's Mark Jeffrey's Nerdalicious iPad.
Oh, it's so nerdalicious.
Wow, that looks pretty good. It looks clear. I'm watching it on Ustream. It looks ridiculously clear on Ustream. And everybody loves Ustream. And everybody knows the hashtag here on This Week in iPad is TWIIP. Is that right? This Week in iPad.
That's right.
TWIP. TWIP.
Twip.
Tweet.
The same noise Spider-Man's web makes.
So everybody should do a tweet. I am now watching live This Week in iPad, TWIIP. The I's are lowercase, the T, the W, and the P are uppercase. So let's get right to it. Mark Jeffrey, what is your first featured iPad application of the week for Mark Jeffrey?
The thing that's really impressed me very much is the Alice in Wonderland app.
Yes.
I'm a big book nerd, as you know. So the thing I love about this is, I'm just going to demo it a little bit here. So if you go to my iPad on the screen.
How much does it cost?
This is free. There's a free version. So basically you get like the first couple of chapters of, it's Alice in Wonderland, the old, the classic version. It's got the classic John Teal drawings in it. But the thing that's interesting is there are a lot of little animations in here that are very specific to the iPad, right? So you get the little watch goes back and forth. So it's a book, and it's a little bit like a CD-ROM, but
This reminds me, I was about to say, of CD-ROM days.
it is a little bit. But remember, CD-ROMs are on a computer, so there's no physicality to it, right? So the iPad's got this physicality that is
You weren't
really
taking your IBM PC XT or AT and rocking it back and forth.
no, couldn't do that.
No.
So for something like this, it's native to the iPad. This is an application which could only really be done on an iPad.
And does it make the story better? Does it increase the storytelling, story-consuming experience in your?
For Alice in Wonderland it does, because it's kind of crazy, and Alice in Wonderland is all about the sort of
what's that one?
Crazy, trippy things. Well, so these little chiclets bounce around the screen here, right?
Those are the pills?
Those are the. I'm not quite sure what they are.
I think doesn't she have to take a pill and then she? It's
like
the
Matrix. Something else, yeah. But anyway, these are but they bounce around the screen. Right. So, I think this works for a children's book. But the thing I love about this is you could not do this in any other medium.
Yeah. Shame on the Kindle.
Yeah, I mean it's not even close on the Kindle.
It's the second coming of pop-up books. Pop-up Dragon books.
I think this is just the beginning. I think this is just the beginning of some very interesting book things.
Absolutely.
On the Kindle. So
this might actually get people to read a little bit more. And this is the kind of stuff that I expected to see in the comic book applications, but you don't see.
Yeah.
And so made for the medium, comic books would be a really nice thing to see. Although all we're seeing right now, correct me if I'm wrong, on the Marvel application, these things is just you can scroll through them on your iPad.
I mean, the Marvel app, I think it's either the Marvel app or one of the independent apps has a feature where it will sort of guide you through it, the narrative.
Right, so it just pans.
Well, it's not just a panel. It has it smartly knows this is part of the panel, and then I'm going to paint up here and then up there. But
so there's a little bit of storytelling.
Yeah.
But it looks brilliant. I mean, I will say this for the Marvel app, or the comic book applications.
Comics are beautiful looking, and it's a very bright screen with a lot of color. So, but I'm kind of disappointed in it, I'll be honest. I was like, oh my God, the Marvel application is going to have, when they have Silver Surfer, he's going to be flying across the universe, and it's going to look really cool, the animation. But then I realized, oh my God, that means they'd have to make an animated film. It's going to be a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but the Alice people, I think they got it right. They really didn't. I mean, it really doesn't take a lot to animate the things the way that they did, but it really does make the story pop.
He says if you tap one pane, one of our users,
Yeah,
it'll actually
it'll go to that, right?
Yeah.
And then if you tap it again,
it'll.
yeah. So yeah, this is what we're talking about. This is a nice feature. and it knows to do that half of the pane and then his response. But that doesn't seem like groundbreaking. But I do like Zaffi, Z-A-F-F-I, for letting us know that. And Brewery 33 makes a good point. Animation is a movie. I agree. But what are we seeing here with the Alice in Wonderland application? Is it a movie? Is it a book?
New media.
It's a toy. Yeah. I mean, it turns the book into a kind of half of a toy.
So you say it's a toy.
Yeah.
You say?
New media.
New media, which was the term we used in 1995.
Well.
94. New media. Multiple media. No, multimedia is what we called it, but it was multiple medias. Okay, Jacob, you have an application you'd like to showcase?
I'll throw it to Mr.
Okay,
Jeffrey.
we'll toss your iPad over. And the best feature of the iPad in everybody's mind so far has been, aside from the applications, but just the best overall feature of the iPad?
Well, browsing the web on it, period.
Browsing the web?
I like browsing the web on it better than
surfing experience, yeah. Okay.
I think just in general, the fact, it reminds me very much of Microsoft Surface.
Yeah.
It's very much like in miniature. So I think just in many applications, the physicality of the device, I think is
so the swooping of the pages,
the swooping, the
and
fact that you
holding
can
it.
hold it like this.
Yeah, okay, so the physical touch. I'm going to go with battery life. Let's see Jacob's application.
So I picked Instapaper Pro.
Okay,
it's
so
an old favorite from the iPhone days.
Oops.
That looks like a browser.
Twitter? Hang on a second.
No, go to the browser.
Yeah, no, that is
Just
a
hit
browser.
back.
Oh, I see.
Oh, so Instapaper.
Got it.
Here,
Okay.
grab it here.
Is this an application or is it a?
No, to show it, to demonstrate, we're gonna.
Oh, I see.
We have to start in the browser.
Oh, I see. We're starting. In the
So
browser.
I took a trip recently to New York, Boston, and Durham, where I was not going to have Wi-Fi access for a long period of time. So I needed good online viewing, and so while working and not working and browsing the web, finding articles that were really, really long, I really wanted to read but didn't have time to, you go into your bookmark. There's a bookmarklet that works.
Oh, sorry, wrong one.
In the browser. There's also support in Tweety 2.
So the Instapaper read later.
Yep.
So I click on that.
And it has built-in support. Tweety has built-in support. Newsnet Reader has built-in support. NewsRack has support.
What is that? What did that just do?
Okay.
Well,
I bookmarked it.
Yeah. Now load up Instapaper, which is its own app.
Right. Which is.
And how much does this app cost?
There you go.
This is $5.
Insta app is $5.
So I go to Insta app.
Instapaper.
And so these are already existing articles, and it should pull in the one you just loaded in. But click any of them.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll click on the ending article. I saw you doing that earlier.
Yeah.
So there it is.
And so it's basically done a PDF of the file or something like that?
It's a smart text coder. It'll grab most of the images. It will put the images in paragraph.
Scroll all the way down. I think it's you're getting the menu bar on the left, so you got to scroll all the way down.
Go back. That's
I don't think
a
it's getting
poor
the right one.
article.
Let's
Click the
try-
Donovan McNabb one.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay.
It's a Red Sox article.
And it'll just put it all in readable format. It'll automatically archive them when you're done, available to view later. But basically, with the amount of application support it has in for offline reading when you're on the airplane, if it's not Virgin, to just instantly read. Just
And save it, I guess.
No, absolutely.
Because you're basically, it's letting you copy the actual file and put it in there. Now, can I then do something with that later? Does it sync it up to the cloud or anything?
You can read it online. You can read it on your iPhone. You can read it on your iPad.
So when it saves it online, is it an HTML file or something I can cut and paste from, or does it make it?
It'll save both a link to the original article and it'll also save the text version of the article that you can copy and paste and read later.
Was this something that was developed for the web first and then for the
I believe the
iPad?
original instance was the iPhone, but I could be wrong.
I think you're right. I seem to remember it being older than the iPad as well.
And the idea being that bookmarking and saving things on the iPhone was difficult. So if you were reading on the web, you could save it to the web and then boom, right there. Easy reading on your phone without having to deal with a lot of
I really like that. It's a nice way to, when you have something that you're on a web page that you need to read later. Will it work if you're reading a long email or something like that in Gmail? Have you tried?
I don't know if there's mail support, but there's the active developer of it is adding tons and tons of support.
You know this person or something? Or?
No.
Oh, okay. It's a $5 in the App Store. If you have a question for us while we're doing This Week on iPad, just go right into the chat room. Of course, if you're listening to this on your iPad a week later, you will not be able to go to the chat room and talk to us. But you just go over to Ustream, or we now have the thisweekin.com IRC channel.
That's right.
Which is irc.thisweekin.com.
Yep.
And you go to the pound iPad room.
Yep.
And every show, whatever the topic of the show is, we have that as well. So there's an Android, cloud computing, startups,
Twitter,
etc., YouTube. I'm going to show another application that has taken way too much of my life. How many people in the room have had their iPad, have been in bed with their iPad in the last 3 or 4 days? Everybody. Okay, so the iPad is for when you're in bed. I really think that that's what it's for. It's the last thing I put down at night, and it's the first thing I pick up in the morning. Yeah. Is your iPad. Also, how many people have had it with them in the bathroom in the last week?
Not admitting to it.
Well, I didn't say you were doing anything. I just you brought it into the iPad. Oh, that's disgusting. I just brought it into the bathroom.
I said nothing.
Oh, okay. So anyway, I'm going to show a game called Plants and Zombies. This was originally an iPhone game, but they have a native
computer game first.
Yeah. Oh, it was a computer game first? Mm-hmm. I didn't know that. Absolutely addicting game. You have all these different adventures you can go on. I will just do a quick play game here. You play in a bunch of different areas. I don't know what they call these things. Like it's like a 2D simulator or something like that when you're going left to right. Anyway, this is my house. Those are the zombies that are about to attack. This is my arsenal of different plants I can plant. Some of the plants generate sunlight. As you get sunlight, you can get the different plants. And some of them are defensive, like these potatoes are defensive that I'm putting in. Other ones are like bombs. Other ones shoot pellets, like peas. And this one shoots butter. And some of them eat the plants. All kinds of different things. And obviously you unlock these as you go. This one works in the water. And then I say, let's rock. And now those are my lawn mowers. Those act as a final defense. And I can plant this plant. And now you will see that sun is dropping. I click that, boom. Now I've got 25 drops of sunlight. And there's another one, and then one comes out of the plant, and then I plant another plant. Just like Age of Empires or any other real-time strategy, is that what they call this RTS. Category? RTS. Here is my, I'll put another plant down. And you guys can talk a little bit about this. Do you guys have any favorite games so far? I'm going to put a potato there, block that guy. He's going to eat the potato.
Plants vs. Zombies is definitely my favorite. It's definitely sort of the best example of a tower defense game on the iPad. And then I'm a big fan of
So you bought this. You have it on yours.
I have it on my iPhone.
You have it on your iPhone.
I haven't been too poor to buy it on the iPad, but it's pretty incredible. And then Words in HD, which is just a Scrabble knockoff.
Words in HD is a Scrabble knockoff. I have not heard of it.
It's $2. It works exactly like Scrabble and lets me play with my dad. But the implementation of it has been incredible.
So why don't we get that up on the screen while I'm here setting up my zombies?
Sure.
So you play with your dad. Is he on an iPad?
He's probably on his iPhone right now, but he did buy the 64 gig iPad, so he has both. But it syncs across the board. So whether you're on your phone or on your iPad, I have access to the same game.
Now, did he buy his iPad just so he could play Scrabble with you? Is that the primary reason?
No, he's been an Apple fanboy since Apple II, and even before that. My first computer gift from him was an Apple Quadra, and I've been a fanboy since.
So this is it right here. I've actually got yours up on my screen.
Yeah,
it's his drag these.
So you're not going to be able to drag it. They lock you in.
But normally I can drag them out here and then drop them into place.
Yeah,
I gotta go,
absolutely. I'm trying to still favorite if I can get it in. But
see, that's what's really cool is it's got that Microsoft Surface kind of feeling to it. You know what I mean? Like you can actually, it feels like there's actually objects there.
Yeah.
Obviously you can't feel them, but it really psychologically it feels that way. So
you stop concerning a lot of the reviews I've read. I think John Gruber's mentioned this. Is you stop thinking about the device and it just lets you do what you want to do, and you stop having to sort of worry about the interface itself.
Now I've got a race car. I got the sound turned down, but basically one of the things I really love are these driving games, like pretty much the race car games.
I haven't bought one of those yet.
Oh, they're awesome. Yeah, so if you check it out, I'm trying to.
How do you do
it's kind of hard to. It just sort of you can have auto accelerate, and then basically if you tilt forward, I think that's when it speeds up. I'm having a hard time sort of keeping it in the frame and driving at the same time, but. And then usually there's a little brake pad here that you can tap. And I'm really far behind because I sort of started this up, but this is another great one where the physicality of the device actually plays into the game, right? So it's not like you couldn't really do this any other. Well, I guess the Wii could do this. You'd have the controller, but tilting the screen like this is just sort of a new experience. And obviously, when you're sitting on your couch,
Interesting news today, and you can see this news up at iPad-Answers. iPad-Answers is a vertical Q&A site, a knowledge exchange just for the iPad created by Mahalo.com. And everybody go check out iPad-Answers. I don't think we can pull it up here because we got too many video cameras pointed at the iPads. And I am very distracted with these zombies. But I'm going to have to stop this. I'm going to just let these zombies eat my farm. Right after I just get a couple more things in. And I should turn the sound down as well. Israel is not allowing imports of the iPad?
Not only imports, but if you try and bring it into the country, they'll confiscate it.
So as a tourist cannot bring an iPad in, why is this?
Well, the reason why is the Wi-Fi is apparently too powerful and it's overpowering other devices. That's what Israel says.
They're saying it's not up to European standards, which require a lower threshold than the Wi-Fi standard. That said, it seems mostly to just be them dropping the ball on understanding the popularity of the device would be not only in Israel but for tourists, and not even clearing this through.
So here's my farm right now. And my zombies. As you can see, the game gets really addicting, and you get huge farms going, and you can play for 5 minutes and then be done with it. It's a really great game. I think this is a killer application for this, is watching movies or playing games. So the Wi-Fi in Israel...
The European standards have a lower threshold of EMF or whatever it is than American standards.
So is it banned in Europe as well?
Not as far as I know, they're not enforcing it in Europe, and Israel's the only country actually cranking down. And how many of the there's a question that come up in the chat room here. What do you guys think is the optimal price for an iPad application, and what's the most expensive app you've bought so far? Most expensive app I've bought was Things, which was $20, and that's because I'm totally addicted to it on the iPhone. I'm totally addicted to the Mac, and I needed it. And
Things?
Things. It uses a noun for get things done. It's a to-do list.
Oh, is this GTD?
It's not the same thing, but it's based on that whole idea, and it's done by a company who notoriously, the iPhone app is $10. The Mac app is $50, I think. They always price things overly high. I think the ideal number is somewhere between 5 and 8. That's the number where I don't even think about it. I have $5 or $8 in my bank account. I don't have to sort of check anything. Anything beyond that, you start wondering, well, is this actually going to be worth it?
And so Things for iPad, I have it pulled up here. This is productivity software, obviously, and you keep your to-do list, kind of what you're doing next, your schedule. You're going to do this someday. You're going to do this
next,
now.
You're going to do this now. This is due now. But they're some of the best Cocoa developers on the planet. They really make beautiful, beautiful applications.
You said Cocoa?
Yeah.
That's the language used to develop for
the front end stuff. They really understand the sort of Mac interface.
Now, is Cocoa, because I want to make sure the people who are listening to the show who don't know, Cocoa is made by Apple, or is it open source, or is it a developer kit?
It's my knowledge of Objective-C is limited at best, but it's basically the front end layer of Objective-C and of the Apple development kit.
Yeah, it's very Apple specific.
I see we all have the. Let me finish it up with you, Mark. What's your most expensive app so far?
$10. It was pretty much the racing app. I just wanted to see it.
Korg.
Oh, the Korg. Yeah, I bought the Korg synthesizer. That was about $10 as well. Sorry, you're right.
And when you're buying a $10 application, does it give you pause?
Not yet. I think it will eventually as sort of the newness wears off.
But you're kind of established. You got a little bit of cash in the bank. So for you, as a pretty established, you're 57 now.
It depends.
Sorry, 45. As a 42-year-old guy,
a little bit more now.
41, whatever it is. As a 40-something, low 40-something, you have the resources, so you don't really think about it at $10.
Not really.
Jacob, you're a younger guy. You're in your early 20s. Are you thinking about it when you buy one? Obviously, you said before.
When I buy one $10 app, I don't think about it. But if it's a thing where I'm thinking about buying 5 or 6, it's like, oh, I want to get a. For instance, when I first get the iPad, I want to load it full of apps.
Right.
So then it was like, well, with the iPhone, I could download every single app I wanted. Everything was $1 or $2. Didn't matter. I could load it full until I was heart's content.
Tons of functionality.
Yeah. Here it was like, okay, I have to really think about, because I could easily spend $300 and download 30 apps. And here I have to think, well, what are the 10 or 8 I want?
At what point do you think you've spent more on apps than for the actual product? Or will you? Have you spent more money on your iPhone for apps?
No, but I did on the Kindle.
You did on the Kindle.
I bought enough books on the Kindle that I felt like I bought more than the cost of the Kindle was, which was like $2.99 when I bought it.
Yeah.
But since the books were cheaper, like normally I'd be paying $15 to $20 for the books, and in the Kindle it was like $6 to $9. I'd saved so much money that the Kindle paid for itself, so I didn't feel bad about buying the Kindle at all.
Right, but here that's a different story. Here you're not saving money. you're actually spending a decent amount of money.
That's true, but again, the books. I mean, we haven't really talked too much about the Kindle on the iPad, which is an interesting play, versus the iBook store, which obviously Apple is betting pretty heavily on. I don't know. Have you played around with the Winnie the Pooh book that's in there?
I did see it. I think I opened it.
So you're not a book guy. You're not You're not like me.
Yeah.
So
I did look at it. I like the fact that you can change.
So this is interesting. So you can basically turn the pages like this, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't care. I mean, it's kind of nice that I can see the font and
might be nice if you're reading it to a kid.
Yeah. So it's cool, but the iBook store, it doesn't have very much selection.
Right.
And it's also locked to this device, to the iPad only.
Right. I don't know about that. Isn't it? It's the Winnie the Pooh book is. But anything I bought off the ebook store is just a open source EPUB file. I bought Infinite Jest.
Oh, so you were able to?
Yeah, it's just it's open for, which is sort of surprising for Apple. But
I don't know if that's true.
They've supported the EPUB format. It's
my understanding is that you can't move it off of Apple devices. That's locked to Apple devices.
I could be wrong. I know.
So wait, you bought Infinite
Jest.
The book.
Infinite Jest.
The book
on your iPad.
On the iBook store, and
on the iBook store, which is a 1,500-page book or something to that effect.
It's on the iPad. It's $13.69. Yeah.
So basically, on the iPad, it actually weighs less than in hardcover.
Yeah.
Which I think is a first, since it's a £1.50. Mark, as a avid book reader, one of the few left, would you rather have half the battery life and take out a half pound from this device?
No, I mean personally, I find it to be fine. Because you sort of prop it up on your lap or something when you're reading, right? So,
but the Kindle is half the weight.
The Kindle is half the weight. It is nicer, but this is easier. So I'm now in the Kindle application on the iPad. It's kind of hard to see this, but basically, this is very easy to read. I find this to be a lot easier to read than the Kindle. I'm always hunting around for a light when I'm reading off my Kindle.
Oh, so you like it better than the reading experience?
Yes.
That was going to be the big discussion was, would the e-paper be softer on the eye than the glary, bright?
It's hard to see. I mean, it's probably hard to see in the video here.
Yeah.
But if you actually have this in front of you and you're looking at specifically the Kindle application on the iPad, it's very easy on the eyes. In fact, it's a lot easier to read.
I read all of Breakfast with Champions while on my vacation on the Kindle app because it wasn't available in the
the Kindle app on the iPad.
Yeah.
So I mean, to be honest with you, I think the Kindle app and Amazon is the big winner here for books so far.
Yeah.
I don't think Apple is.
So this is why Apple, the Kindle folks and the Amazon folks aren't panicking. They just got another 1 million people to distribute their books to.
Yeah.
How many Kindles are there out there? Are there more iPads than Kindles today?
I don't know that number actually.
Somebody in the chat room, let's look that up. I'm curious at what point that will happen. And also, my question before, do you think you're going to spend more money on apps than you paid for the $500 device? It would take $50, $10 applications.
Right, that's right. I don't think so if it's just in $10 apps. I think by the time I hit 50, I'd be buying another one. Maybe next year with the next generation comes out.
Yeah.
If we include movies and music and books, certainly I'll surpass
So basically, what do you think, Mark? You're going to surpass it?
I will definitely surpass it if you include books and movies. If you include just apps, I mean, we've seen the tip of the iceberg of what's possible on here.
And who knows if a big player, EA, Blizzard, comes out, decides, the next Diablo 3, it's going to be on the iPad too.
And it costs
Not that that's going to happen.
$bucks.
But if they came out with a game that they feel is a game you would be paying $60 on the Xbox, and it's better on the iPad, why not charge $60? If a sort of tier of games or apps that come out that people feel fine paying $60 come out, who knows? Then yeah, it would certainly surpass it.
Interesting. What do you think of the standard rubbery case? I see all three of us have it. What do you think of the standard rubber case? You like it? You don't like it?
Well, this was. I mean, we had to buy this extra. Actually, this was not. This they
upsold
me.
The upsell on the rubber case. Are you enjoying the rubber case?
Yeah, the upsell was based so that I could prop it up like this,
yeah.
right? And which is the reason why this is important for me anyway. Is actually catching up on podcasts. So I found myself. I was talking with you about this yesterday. I found myself, I wasn't even really thinking about it. I loaded up some of the This Weekend podcasts I hadn't seen yet.
Yeah.
And I was sort of walking around my house. I was getting ready to go out. And I basically dragged my iPad around with me, set it up on the dresser, set it up while I was doing the dishes. And I
do find myself walking around the house with it.
Yeah.
And I did find, I walked into a dinner with it the other night, and I just I could leave it under the seat in the car. Now everybody knows where to steal it. Just move the Glock over. It's under the Glock. Yeah, it's very weird. You actually want to take it with you.
The standard rubber case was a big help when I was on my trip, just because I was not unlike you, flying coach, and had to like squeeze and find angles to put it on. It really helped being able to put it on the tray, being able to put it on things like that.
And here we see on my iPad, We Live in Public, the film, just sitting here on the desk, and it really is a great experience with this rubber. Well, if I don't put it on top of the cables, it will actually stand there just like that. And I am finding myself watching films. This is off of Netflix streaming. I haven't watched a whole film yet, but I did watch half a film, Woody Allen film, and I did watch a full episode of Jamie Oliver's TV show. Are you guys watching TV on here?
I watched the first 6 hours of The Wire while on the plane. And
you bought it?
I bought 6 hours of The Wire.
Or did you go on Pirates Bay and download the
you can view my
M4U?
iTunes, you can view my iTunes receipt. $2 an episode, $1.99.
So you spent $12 on all of those?
14 actually for 7 episodes.
14 for 7 episodes. Is that a good deal or not?
I mean, the full season comes to $25, and you could. HBO DVDs are extremely marked up. They're like $50 unless you wait.
So it's half price basically. If you were getting DVDs, if you have a Netflix account, you would take 2 months to watch it anyway, so you can own it. So it's a wash for $25.
And I could put it on my iPhone. I can watch it on my TV when I got back, sync it back. So
actually, it's starting to make sense at $2. And if you spent $14 and you had 25 episodes, how many episodes?
Total are there? There's 13 per season, and then
13 episodes. So that's 13 hours.
Yeah.
13 hours for $25.
Yeah.
You're looking at about $2 an hour, exactly. Or it is actually $2 an hour. So
I don't
$2
think
an
there's a
hour,
discount for the
and a
season.
movie is how much? 5?
I think it's like 7 or 8.
So a 2-hour movie or a 90-hour movie, it's $4 an hour.
Yeah.
$3 to $4 an hour, and here we're talking about much less.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was going to point out the other thing that's interesting about this case is what I've just done here is I put it down like a typewriter, right? So I can actually, and I know you hate the keypad, but I found that I can actually type fairly quickly on it.
You know, actually, I didn't. I'm such an idiot. This is a good reason to do this show. This is the first time I've actually done that with my iPad. I can put on my camera. I didn't actually know that was one of the options.
Yeah. So actually,
I'm an idiot.
So if you look at my screen, I don't know if you can cut over to mine, away from the 1980s computers, but so basically that's what it looks like when I'm typing on it. So it's at exactly the right angle, and it does help. It actually helps a lot rather than it being flat on the sort of.
Here's a great question from Twist Fanboy, and Twist Fanboy, I'm going to encourage you to put this in iPad-answers. If you could do that for me, or if Roberta could do that for me, go right over to Twist, go to iPad-answers and put this question up. How does the iPad case affect the Wi-Fi, if at all?
I haven't noticed at all. I was doing oddly enough, the Wi-Fi in the hotel lobby at the hotel I was staying at in Boston, that was really, really great, and I was doing a megasecond on my Wire episodes. So
wow.
Yeah, I haven't noticed any problems with the Wi-Fi, although I've heard rumors of problems. I've not seen it myself.
I've heard cases, but I mean, I don't know if those are lemons or just.
I thought I had Wi-Fi problems in the beginning, and then I don't feel like I have them. But
I mean, this thing is like rubber, right? So I can't imagine it dampening the signal at all.
Somebody asked, has your browser experience been affected by the lack of flash at all, gentlemen?
Yes.
I'm trying to think. I think there was one bill pay application where I went to try and pay my cable bill or something, and it was all flash, and I was trying to do it.
I was trying to watch Doctor Who on YouTube, not that I do that, but if I were to, I would be very upset by the fact that it was up there, but I couldn't get to it.
Yeah.
Because YouTube's all flash,
That said, I'm shocked by a lot of websites I thought I would be affected by. ESPN, for instance, you load up and there's a video. Usually, the top is a video, and I believe when you view on a browser in Flash, and when I was viewing it, it was all HTML5. Played it perfectly. So it seems more and more of the world is getting sick of Flash. Mostly, I would guess, because of iPhone's dominance, but there's definitely still remnants of it out there. It's definitely, got the market share.
And you guys, correct me if I'm wrong, you're using the 1.0, you're using the first generation of iPad, right?
Yes.
You are using the first generation?
Not the
okay. Because here, on my iPad, if you pull it up, I'm just looking at Loic's blog, and here you see a YouTube video. And I'm actually watching a YouTube video here. Steve Jobs gave me this version of the iPad, which
so you're telling me Flash is running on that?
That is Flash running.
HTML5.
I don't know if Flash is running here. I will tell you that I am watching a Flash video right now. So how is that possible?
I don't think it's Flash.
I can guarantee you right now that is a Flash video playing.
Go for it.
There's some trickery afoot.
Would you like to? We're going to get a little side action here. You want to go $10? That this is actually a Flash?
No, I'll pass.
You'll pass.
I'll pass.
Anybody in the
See, it's unfair. I know the answer.
anybody in the chat room want to understand why this is happening? And I will say, Marcel, you got it correct. I am doing screen sharing. That is my desktop computer here at Mahalo, and I am doing screen. That is my. I have two huge 30-inch screens, or two huge. I have a 30-inch and a 27-inch. So what you're looking at is my 2500 screen, and I can pull up anything with Flash.
Yeah.
So now I was having a great frustration using Google Analytics. I can remote desktop in and use Google Analytics, which has a little bit of Flash, tiny little bit to see charts.
Right.
And so if I was becoming.
What about Chartbeat on this?
I have Chartbeat on here. It's not native for Flash. It's not native for the application, but Chartbeat does look okay. You know, it's just small. Yeah. Okay, so this has been a great episode. We spent about 45 minutes here, which was about 15 minutes more than I wanted to do, but boy, does 45 minutes go quickly.
Yeah.
Everybody save up the rest of the applications you have. Everybody who's in the chat room, please do go to iPad-answers.com, ask a question, answer a question. Thank you, Brewery32, for saying it's a great episode. If everybody in the chat room will look under their seat, you will find under your seat an iPad.
In your imagination.
All right,
in your
Oprah.
imagination. Just kidding. Oprah did not break into your house or your office and put an iPad under your seat. Are you recommending people buy an iPad? Just let's talk about that.
Not everyone, but a lot of people. A lot of people that came to me with, like, should I get one? And I said, would you do this, this, and that? Would you watch movies? How often are you reading? How often are you, in bed checking the news? And all of them came back with enough yeses to say, yeah, you should probably get one.
Mark?
It's for email, games, movies,
Browsing the web.
books, and browsing the web. If that's all you do, then yes.
I love it. I hate the fact that I can't do some of the things I want to do, but I am looking forward to jailbreaking this bad boy as soon as I can, and I'm really looking forward to an Android.
We haven't seen the response from Android yet. That's what I want. That's what I'm interested in.
I have a feeling the Android versions of this, if HTC starts making these, look out.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if this thing had a you get removable flash?
It needs a camera, it needs flash, it needs a lot of things.
Yeah.
That could
Although
be
I have to say, I think I'm willing to give up a lot to get that 12-hour battery life.
Yeah. That is a killer feature.
There is nothing. I mean, it's so stupid that has become my favorite part of this thing. But I just noticed, like, oh my God, did it pop up before the show started that I had 20% left? Yeah. And if a pop-up comes up on my iPhone that I have 20% less, I'm dropping the call.
Yeah.
Basically. And if my MacBook Air says 20% less, I'm basically not finishing the movie.
Yeah.
Here it's at 20% less. I'm still at 11.
Yeah.
45 minutes later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It lasts forever.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's ridiculous. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This went well. Congratulations to the tech staff on being highly competent and able to do incredible things in a short period of time. I'm getting everybody a participation trophy.
Woo! Fantastic.
Everybody participated well today in This Week in iPad. We'll see you next time.